Got a chair.
TGRESSIVE. Go. Fight. Go. Fight.
Oh, there it is.
I thought this was a poetry
There you are.
bear wrestling match.
I told him I'd strong armed you, John.
There almost always is.
Between bear wrestling and poetry.
This is the handsome gentleman section up here. So.
Damn.
I moved out of that
We all
section,
shot
so
over.
sure.
That's right. You're sitting in the revert seats, as I refer to them. Like,
Oh, so it's like
The
Reaper
cheap
is
seats.
blinding the rest of us out. Huh?
that's right.
Right.
That's right.
I understand now.
All right. Tony, if you would get us rolling.
It was good.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna get started. If Ed shows up, that's great. If he doesn't, fuck him, it's his loss. So, all right. How is everybody doing? I'm in a good mood today, so, you know, it's to Jason's detriment. Because I've got plenty of strength. All right, it's good to see all of you. I'm really tremendously glad to be back here. Today, we've got a gentleman that a lot of you have heard before, and another gentleman that I know none of you have basically heard before. Jason Baldinger's here from Pittsburgh, wearing his delightful Pure Sleeves t-shirt. And then Matthew Ussia's here, also from Pittsburgh. And we've been taking Matt around today through various Missouri sites. And so we got breakfast, and then immediately I had them pick up some to-go pie. So the Missouri experience is complete.
It's not we ate it.
Did you?
Sorry.
Well, you're a bad person, so I wouldn't expect anything less from you. So actually,
I didn't touch
does
it.
your lazy ass want to be on this list too? Because you didn't get up.
You put me where you need me.
All right, all right.
Just don't put baby in the corner.
That's right.
Teeth cut out. Loosely.
Taking notes.
All
John,
right.
I got a
So, I'm just, before we get into the actual reading, I'm just going to mention again a few of the things that we have coming up. Obviously, you're here today, but then August 1st, Scott Ladati will be here from New York. And then August 2nd, Scott will be here as well, because he's going to be here with his band, and he's bringing a bass player from West Virginia. So that will be super cool, and I'm going to meet up with those guys, and then they're going to give me a ride back here. And then in September, Scott is going to have an art exhibition here that opens, I believe, September 19th. So he will be back with us for about a month and a half. He's going to be doing a lot of stuff here. And it'll be good because I can get him to run me all over the place, and we can cause all sorts of havoc. Let's see here. Yeah, Victor, I forgot to put you on there. So I can do that.
John,
Yes, John.
can I get on there too, please?
What's that?
Can I get on there too?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And then I think she had a question. Did you take the Pennsylvania gentleman to see the world's largest cowbell?
Oh, we saw the film.
Right here.
We still haven't
in
taken a
Battle,
photo of
Missouri.
it. Yeah, we haven't taken a photo yet.
These gentlemen saw the bell.
And the Rock Island.
I was gonna say, if that's your thing, go to the rocking chair in Cuba too.
I just want to spend the night in that train car.
That
don't
would be
know-
cool.
I don't know who I have to talk to be allowed to camp in there one night.
Technically, you don't have to talk to
Probably
anyone.
Johnny.
If they show up, if they don't, you're good.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll just be like, listen, the Belle Poet Laureate told me it was okay. I talked to city government and that's it. But, okay. We will get started here. And this is awesome because this is the most people I've had on our open mic list in a really long time. the strange part about bringing features in is I think some people they're less inclined to be part of the open mic list, which is exactly what I don't want. I want as many people as we can get. I want people to come and play music. I want people that regale us with Shakespeare like Phil has done, or like people that come to read poems. I want all of it. So tell your friends. Lord knows I don't have any, so we can bring some other people there. But all right. So without further ado, I am going to welcome up our first reader for the evening. He slept on my leather daddy, which is last night, which is his reference to my leather couch. I hope the leather daddy treated you well,
It was very gentle.
as they should be. But all right, so I'd like to welcome up Mr. Jason Baldinger, Pure Sleaze himself. There he is. All right, you sleazy gentlemen. Do it however you like.
I'll be sleazy. It's fine.
Leather
How's
Daddy.
everybody doing?
Leather
Oh,
Daddy would be a good band name.
I think we said that last
Good
night.
with my grand, the Leather
You
Daddy.
gotta stop drinking so much.
You might have even said that last night,
Maybe,
actually.
probably.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. It's nice to be back in Belle.
You rarely see so many friendly white people in one room.
Well, don't put the pitchforks away just yet.
There you go.
This first poem is called Cold Water Glistens. It's from my split book with James Benger, Waiting on Hummingbirds, my most recent split book with James Benger. We were raw souls, and we didn't know it. Sapling catalpas roam subtropical summer sidewalks, desperate for breath inside the walls of swelter. There would be this electric buzz rattling in the air of our childhood bedrooms. Our teeth would chatter simultaneously, and then we would be in the streets in our shorts, our underoos. The local firemen opened the plugs. The water rushed torrents along neighborhood curbs. All the kids were there. Between parked car rapids, some feet in, some ass in, some attempt to swim, some erode into the debris of the city. These little catalpas, inebriated in the perfect equation. Cold water glistens meets summer afternoon. A still life, an eternity. John gifted me more time, so I'll read you another poem from this book. This is called A Howard Johnson Prayer. Evansville, Indiana represents. Well, I guess it is already. Nothing has a right being this beautiful. And the mighty exhale of crossing the heartland again. The chill that saturates post-Labor Day. The sun already a victim, but there are no stars in this fenced pool parking lot watering hole with logos looming and billboards crowing and traffic blowing past headlights through honeycomb and the interstate close enough to hear it whinny the horizon. Another outlaw moment. Flat earth and floodplain, 250 miles and 25 milligrams, waiting on the corn stalks to colonize these temples again. Cold blue water steals as it reinforces this essence. I float on dreams that stretch middle Mississippi to Machu Picchu. I float on a black and white dream, memories of a dark sky, meditation. Just telling this story last night. It's a poem called The Bird Songs Tonight. It's from my History of Backroads Misplaced, which is my selected. This is about a Cleveland poet. After the reading, crowd thins, Cleveland poets back to Cleveland, Pittsburgh poets back under their rocks. One straggler looks for a couch, didn't make the usual 24-hour reservation, so I offer mine. Silsby and I talked after party. I offer after party, even though this poet doesn't seem like a late night howling type. Still, he comes along. Maybe we're rowdier than usual. The beer tastes great tonight. Everyone is holding the pipe, is never not packed. Walking back to my place late March at 3 a.m. and beautiful street lights aquarium glow and one lonely bird sings a song. No birds sing on Penn Avenue. Not at 3 a.m. or ever. My slow atom brain has interpreted this as a mating song. And I interview every tree looking for the bird. I want to have a long heart-to-heart about loneliness. I want to remind the bird that no one is getting laid tonight. I can't find the bird. I stand in a parking lot calling out, the bird needs to know. Tomorrow will be better. I suppose I hadn't noticed the poet drop behind me. Every sentence I utter, he says over and over in panic mantra, "You're insane!" I unlock the door, he races upstairs, covers his head in a blanket, a knock-kneed ghost scared of his own shadow. It's too late for admissions. I stand in the door with one word in between my teeth. Maybe. Blind into leaving. I'm drinking beer in a bourbon town again. The waitress raised eyebrows, suspicious as I lock eyes on an alligator and a shark. The beltways of Kentucky are kind. There's no stress, no trucks, no cops. Set the cruise just north of 80 miles, and they dissolve easy. So, if I dive into bourbon right now, I'll be slobbering in moments. There are some things you can't drink away. Statesboro, our guitar player works Statesboro blues, more almond than I tell. The sunset with rosewater in the rear view tonight, I wanted to hold my breath. The waitress wants to know if I need another. God damn it, girl, I need an IV. She sees it and she tells me these are good people. It took 3 tries to get a room. The lobby was full bloom Appalachian floor show. Every toilet full of shit. Waitress brings me a third and I down it in one magic swallow. Broke down engine guzzles gasoline. Wizard guitarist is on to fingerstyle sweet leaf. I tip and walk blind into leaving. The era of poorly shod from American aorta. A crown of thorns and a red roof parking lot in Tom Raper country leaves the fearful stranded in dusk. A good blacksmith is hard to find. But this is the era of poorly shod, of lame horses, of forgotten Saint mosaics and grande margaritas, all relics to be cast aside with ease. She calls me amigo. For 14 months, being kept under glass, hermetically sealed against a rigorous sense of time. But there are no work crews here to exchange disillusionment for cerveza, no hymns sung by the high 100-proof choir. I sit among TVs and watch slushy machines whirl. The white river and light rain sound the same, no matter the month. In parking lot lights, swarms of wings beat, intermingle in halogen rainbows, another lonely melody telegraphed across this sweet night. It sounds like Hoagie Carmichael stardust. And then the tequila kicks in, and my teeth sound like Charlie Patton's guitar. I have a new book called Left for the Wind to Take. It's going to be coming out sometime later this year. So I'm going to read you some poems that will probably be in that book. This is called Hard Time Eyes. I should give this one out to Victor today. 3 Dogwood Night. 2nd Avenue lights shine from downtown oasis past where motels go to pasture and green corn begins its rise. 3 Confederate skeletons, gray hair growing down the backs of Kiss tees, baggy jeans printed with Ohio River mud. They double time it back to camp past the Cadillac Motel and Halfway House. Mutton warms on the fire, graybacks burning in their pockets, old Jeff Davis's eyes wide after a taste. Jesus fucking Christ, the South will rise again. 3 Confederate skeletons pass. The woman at the liquor store stashes moonshine pipes as Victor, announced by doorbell, asks for a bottle of wine. She looks at him with hard time eyes. Honey, I don't know a goddamn thing about no wine. Keep it going with relatively new shit. Everything we learn from the night. I pay for tacos with someone else's dime. Road still in our eyes. Wipe our hands on our pants before the barrio calls. Before Cherokee Street opens. Ragtime piano. The maple leaf rag can't shake the stagnant out of summer's last drops. Josephine Baker dances on the bar. Limbs flash across dim light. She drops low and ample. Shimmy spicy as Joplin is passé. A bar tabby in stealth mode, stripes and wood grain. Belly rubs bribe her silence as if she couldn't tell every bloodshot secret that couldn't be drowned in the Mississippi. Between the three of us, there isn't anything we don't know about rivers, currents, or all the weather in this circle of hell. But a Ford Falcon just pulled up, rag top down, open and free like everything we learned from the night. Now, honey, hush. You know you shouldn't let poets lie to you. It's a poem called Another Redneck Drag Show. You may have witnessed it here. After Stearns kicked that toad, we got ourselves turned around talking about that girl that would soon break his heart. I knew there was no reaching him. Sometimes a person's experiences just turn them mean. And here we are in the Ozark dark with that damn toad's curse hanging in the air. Our sense of direction all wobbly and Midwestern. And I swear a UFO lands. Pink and purple, red lights, swirling speckles, airborne fish swimming all across the community park. Damn if I didn't think we swallowed that toad. Old Bufo Alvarez making pinpoint eyes as the moon as we near all slow, steady caution. Realizing those UFOs were nothing but tripped out trucks, F-something 50, flapping, swirling, spinning, racing colored lights. No ETs, just another redneck drag show. Pie first.
That's right.
Jeff Bridges says Dutch apple pie, and his eyes flood, mouth hangs open like a rainy Midwestern afternoon. Jeff Bridges is an alien in a movie falling in love with Karen Allen. They both eat Dutch apple pie before the main course. Same as John Dorsey at the Twisted Pickle in Lynn, Missouri on a November night. He orders, he tells the waitress, pie first. Suspect about the anticipation.
You can't leave that leftover pie.
We're gonna have pie later. It's fine. We'll be there. The hour of groundhog. The first sunset is the last sunset, and time is never. Always moving the goalposts. So when the sand runs out the 6 o'clock hour, another number should fall. It's suddenly 6 again. Indignities are myriad. Deep breath, wonder if you got another hour in you. Radio stuck on the same song like a county line in a rear view. And I don't remember crossing the Ohio or from Ohio. I don't remember holding hands with rivers as cities come real, only to evaporate in box elder. Green as electric as spring, there is no comfort left in not stopping. Chopstick bones, abandoned muscles, discomfort rises. Through the trees, a rural cemetery of propane tanks, empty gases heating, popping shrapnel holes in the sun, all clean heat of dinosaurs turning into symmetrical rust. Leave the car running. Open door suggests wings. Car stereo fuzz, chord progression repeats, wade through oxidation. The hour of the groundhog. Simmered weariness meets ghost moon rising. Last time I was here, Kevin Ridgway was here, and we crossed the Mississippi, which was his first crossing of the Mississippi. Matt and I crossed the Mississippi, his first crossing of the Mississippi. I seem to be Sherpa people across the Mississippi at this point in my life. This is called The Voice of Endless Water. Kevin's eyes explode as we cross the Mississippi, like all the mighty rivers of the West have suddenly been turned loose. This mother of waters activates an Americana, a folklore buried deep. Back on Mud Island a generation ago, staring across at an Arkansas tree line, staring down at a Memphis skyline, riverboat smoke fills centuries restless as time across the water. The Hall Johnson Choir lightning across my brain, their scat sang revival of W.C. Handy's St. Louis Blues. If I feel tomorrow, I would like I feel the day. Maddie St. Stack is that town, her sitting in Handy's museum, 90 years of stories from the barrel house to civil rights, the scope of one's life dizzying to a man in between catfish. I listened all that morning to years held in service this river, losing my sense of time to the road, surprised how restless time can be, our lives the same rapid, slow mirror. And I hear her voice, I hear Handy, his echoes of Charlie Patton, the deep world bellow of the blues, the burdens of complicated history, this unmuffled engine, the rage of highways, confluence, it's all the voice of endless water. Kevin, get your camera ready. After the ancient temples, before the modern dead, from either side of Blueberry Hill, the American bottom is forever. The Mississippi, she's never the same. We're always seeing her the first time. This is a poem for Scott Ladotti and Damian Rucci, A Flood City Fable. It's after the first summer day in April in 100 years. Cambria City scavenges, Roseland drops another letter, the little Conema hums all the things that you are. Joe passed coal dust fingers across floodwater strings. This is Rust Belt Appalachia, born to the trauma of gone. We give directions here and used to be. We know all we may ever own are our memories. I've been hot and gone since I was old enough to see through the bullshit. Watch landmarks slip through fingers like time served on an interstate. When my wire harness in my spine went haywire, I slowly transitioned to ghost. And now I'm not sure I know what corporate real means. But it used to be there. Untune the moment, scrape the resin off, live story to story, audience to audience, last night on earth to last night on earth, legendary in the moments we were taught never to keep. And maybe you've come to the mountain not looking for salvation, but looking for breath. Out in the stagnant water on the spent cap frontier, this lost world of Flood City. Maybe you leveled up because you found the last live wire in Cambria County. A third rail rusted under floodplain. You found joy, and even if that lasted 1 second, brother, it glows legendary through a long, winding darkness. Tumbleweed stalk in Gazebo Park. Washington Street lights horror blink. Stone Bridge blue hues scream with the drowned and the burning. I shake hell out of my head. Say a prayer on the Puerto Rican girls. Keep our pulse. Give my visions to the bright of the sheets highway at night. Fuck it, brother. We were never promised there'd be anything left tomorrow. There's nothing left at this moment. A second streaking past in the side view. We learned about legends. The moment occupied electric through time. A moment perfect where nobody remembers your fucking name. I got 2 more poems for you. Did you bring Bart?
I did bring Bart, he's in my bag.
Oh, can we put Bart up here?
Sure, I can do that. It's ironic that you mentioned that, because I almost did one with him, but. There you go.
Leave him up there.
We're gonna leave him up there. This is our buddy Bart Solarchuk, or part of him. He didn't fit in the urn after he passed away. We're gonna be scattering some of him here in Bell tonight, because he would have loved it here. This is a poem. Excuse me for 1 second. For Bart Solarchuk's ashes. All right, Bart, let's go. Sometimes there's more ash than urn, so we get to take our part. A tablespoon in an envelope clearly marked for dispersal. I took 3 packets because as poets, we share so many places. I keep one in the glove box, passenger in spirit, waiting for the right joint, the right sunset, the right beach. Or for a night, John, Victor, and I get deep in ceremony, reading Solarcheck poems to a full torn moon, armadillo's root in the underbrush. That envelope recently resurfaced in the wake of violations and the crest of repair. A glove box rifle tossed in a failed theft only to be reassembled neatly on the passenger seat of a detailer, ready to capsize into a Friday night. They both left him there alone, out of the chaos, on a shelf. They either worked around a wisp of what was once flesh, or recoiled in horror, hands frightened, burned by the threat of extinguishing. I laugh as I see their fingerprints. Motherfucker, you can't catch death. Last poem, Ode to Miles Davis's He Loved Him Madly. These mornings pass in poses, 30 seconds at a time. Pacing breath on a snare hit, try and unwind 47 years of what capitalism wrought. Organ rising winds in a construction cruise, milling pavement, house shakes its open windows, except what little chatter comes from spare wall, except the lost voice of working men. Just another fucking day in paradise. The cat steals the heating pad, tries to unwind 90 years. Now listen as the guitar razors out a riff only to pull back on the wall, meeting a trumpet's mute. Reverb-drenched flute settles, I count off seconds. This drifting composition, this expansion of language, building off ideas colliding with restraint, the way Duke Ellington taught us. Duke knew he'd never see Christmas in 1974. He sent holiday cards right before Memorial Day to jazz luminaries, to friends. One last chance to say goodbye. One last chance to give thanks. Miles cried when he got his card. It closed the way Duke ended all his shows, with a kiss blown from stage and the words, "Love you madly." Thank you.
I'm gonna set Bart over here just because I don't want anyone to walk off with him.
No, that's fair. I appreciate that. Bart appreciates that. I'm sure someone else appreciates that if they didn't knowingly get human action.
One of the things I wanted to get Bart down here. There have been people that I've wanted to have here that I just haven't been able to pull it off. And you know, the last few years his health was
Yeah.
terrible. But Bart Solarcheck was truly one of the greatest, like, Rust Belt American poets I've ever read. He's phenomenal. His book, Tilted World.
Yes.
That's the best. I think it's really
So much was so
pretty
awesome.
awesome. Yeah, this is so spectacular. I'm so glad to have so many of you here today. Ed, did you see the comments here?
I did.
There you go. There you go. I just make sure everyone knows everyone's here. All right, Jason, thank you again, sir. You're a credit to your teacher.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mark.
All the print.
I'd like to thank Mark and Tony before we go back into doing this. This is a great spot. We are lucky to have it. As long as I'm doing this, this is where we are. I did want to mention, and almost forgot, this reading tonight is actually the 5th anniversary of me hosting these readings. Like, we've been doing readings longer than that, but as far as me doing it, it's 5 years today.
Thank you, John.
I was talking earlier about like how I don't like to go to readings that feel like you're going to an AA meeting. And so like, yeah, like earlier, like when we did them in the past before I hosted them, it kind of felt like that to me because it was less about literature and you could just come up and talk about your day or whatever, which I think is great. And you can come up to me and tell me about your day, but I'd rather just hear writing here or music or like whatever anyone wants to do. But I'm really, the shelf life of a reading, and it usually isn't very long. So to do this for 5 years, even on my part, is a long time.
Yeah.
Anyone who's done this, they run a year or two, and then people get worn out. But you're stuck with me because I'm not entirely worn out just yet. All right. So with that, I'd like to welcome up our. We had two featured guests, but I'd like to welcome up a new featured guest to this gallery who has never been here. Matt, have you been to Missouri?
No, this is my first Missouri experience, but I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to fit in. Okay, I hope you appreciate.
You need to get a lunchbox too of some sort. That thing up there. But all right, Matthew Ussia is a friend of mine, and we are just kind of getting to know each other a little bit now, more so. He is a professor at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. We are very, very fortunate to have him here. He's a great guy, which I'll do later this evening. But all right, without further ado, I'd like to welcome up Matthew Ussia. And these gentlemen both have books on the table over there, but I guarantee you probably don't have Matt's. So come on up, Matt. Good to see you. Thank you again for agreeing to do this. I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. It's such an honor to be here. This legendary now series, I think, is you're an East Coast poet and you find out that there's this little town in Missouri that does awesome stuff, and you're like, man, I can never be that cool. And here I am. So,
So you are that cool.
I am. I feel weird. All right. Let's see what else. It's first time in Missouri. It's such an honor to be here. I love this space. Thank you to folks who are making all this possible. Thank you to John. Thank you for the friendship and hospitality I've seen here. My first time in Missouri. Holy crap. So I got a book called Saturday Night on Earth, and the irony being it's Saturday night. So I'm gonna read the damn title poem, all right? And I'm gonna try to rip through 13 poems in 25 minutes Ramon style. So this is the last thing I'm gonna say, maybe for a little bit. Yes, so this is called Saturday Night on Earth. Scrolling through my Instagram feed after posting my footage of the punk show at Roboto, I see that Eli went to the basement hardcore show at the Secret Spot, Kevin's at the Rock Room's Thrash Crust Crossover Jubilee, there's death metal happening at a bowling alley in Youngstown, Anna's at a punk show somewhere in Mexico City. Everyone else seems to be home, beers in hand, spinning records. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday Night on Earth with me. Do y'all know what an MPC 3000 drum machine is? This is about the one that's in the Smithsonian that used to belong to Jay Dilla. Do you know who Jay Dilla is? Okay, you gotta all listen to Donuts. That's your homework. That's your homework. Listen to Donuts by Jay Dilla. Because Jay Dilla turned off the quantizer and wrote the owner's manual for the modern brain.
For the modern brain?
The modern brain. For the modern brain. Zygmunt Bauman once said, the natural inclination of modernity is intolerance. Describing the side of the promise we can solve all the problems with the right tech we don't like to think about. The engineers at Akai installed a button for perfect robot beats, because who could be expected to hit those little pads with the ultimate precision the modern world demands? Dilla knew better, grew up in a house full of records, got mom's old stereo with its big, luxurious FM dial, pulling melodies from the static ether. Dylan knew a radio lives inside all of us, except our reception is extra glitchy, playing half songs, loops of hip hooks, sound bites and jingles, half memories of dream song. Loaded it all into an MPC 3000, put our future brains on a record that dropped 3 days before he passed from this life. Never got to know we'd still be hearing the sound of our own minds deep in the grooves of donuts. And whenever I listen to The Difference on repeat, I hope there's cocktail parties in heaven and Dylan meets up with Gertrude Stein, because they got a lot to talk about. Bart spent 2 days in my car getting here. This is called Sitting in Motor Square Garden the morning after Bart Solarczyk died. Escalators drone under the cathedral top, motorists whisper, waiting for mass or driver's license renewal. There was a whole world behind Bart's minimalist lines, his oldest memory impersonating a race car driver on a tricycle in a backyard in Mount Oliver. If his ghost was here, he'd say, "I guess life goes on." Let's see if I got the breath control for this one. It's called The White Couch. It was white. Well, not really white, but as white as a white couch garbage picked from a curb in a garbage town could be white. We carried it home a long block half under the sound of approaching thunder, tried balancing it on the trunk of my car with Ben carrying the other end behind, except Ben walked too slow, my car idled too fast. We gave up after the third time he dropped it. We were all playing house that summer, trying to figure out grocery budgets and how to live with friends. One by one, the friends moved out, some of which never spoke to each other ever again. But the white couch remained, or the white-ish couch remained. It was cursed with some kind of magic. Guests who sat on it during parties ended up sleeping together, sometimes right there on the white couch. Sometimes they didn't know each other's names the next morning. We started calling it the hookup couch, but it never worked for any of us. By the end, I was the only one living in the house, with me and my puppy Cheever living on a bachelor dream, eating frozen pizzas and generic dog food. Figured it was the time to become an adult, so I bought a pack of the blue automatic toilet bowl cleaners, the kind shaped like a hockey puck you dropped in the tank and forgot about. I figured blue toilet water was a real sign of a person who had their life together. One day, while I was in class, Cheever got into the bathroom, grabbed the toilet bowl cake, carried it downstairs to the white couch, decided he didn't like the taste, left it on the white couch, on the way to pull a dirty frying pan out of the kitchen sink. I got home to find a royal blue nebula radiating from the center of the whitest cushion the white couch had left. I knew I was about to flip that cushion for the last time. It was the beginning of the end for the white couch. It was the closure of possibilities. So I am an English professor. I got another English professor poem later on in this set, but this one is just unsolicited, middle-aged white guy professor writing advice. Baseball themed, it's called The Slurve. Writing a poem is like pitching. Every poem an at-bat, every stanza a pitch. Poets try to avoid hard contact, only foul tips. Kenneth Brooks claimed this was the essence, called the intentional delay of meaning literariness. If your poem is about a funeral, better not just talk about sadness. Better not use the word sadness. That's a straight four-seam fastball. Readers are going to crush it no matter how hard it's thrown, because they know what's coming. You have to throw junk that moves, something the reader's not looking for. Standard curveballs like gloomy weather and soggy cemetery ground are good, but great poets can throw something they haven't seen before. The slurve, the ghost fork slider. Get the batter to chase out of the zone with a sweeper about how hard it was not to laugh at the priest's ridiculous comb-over, the way he sounded like Andy Kaufman when he said, "The Lord is my shepherd." True story of my dad's funeral. Get them to swing wildly as their knees buckle with the memory of how you fucked on the couch as soon as you got home, didn't even bother getting out of your church clothes because it was your fight against death. Sorry for the extended metaphor, but it's a lazy June afternoon, and my aesthetic theories only come in baseball, and this is never to say, never throw a high, straight fastball, but only if you got the batter so confused you can catch them looking as the meaning of it all sails right past. This is a lie. This is professor life. It's called meeting minutes. Meeting minutes. Sometimes during meetings, I look for the person who's the worst at hiding their boredom, and I try to imagine what their skull looks like. So Saturday Night on Earth is about music fandom. It's a lot about Pittsburgh music, but it's kind of universal. If you love music, that's what that collection's about. This is a poem about how you should delete your Spotify, because it's called The Song Tiger. The title of this poem is The Song Tiger Tank by the band Speedy Ortiz. There's a band called Speedy Ortiz. They have a song called Tiger Tank. It's inevitable. You're gonna need one. Once they figure out how to make some sort of Bluetooth direct to your brain interface, it will be as commonplace as email, and like how email is now, you will have to have it if you want access to a professional salary, healthcare, and the rest. Of course, that means none of our thoughts will ever be private again, and the same tech companies that exploit our swipes and likes to guess our innermost desires will have complete access to our innermost thoughts and desires so private we can't admit them to ourselves sometimes. And yes, since all Western democracies seem to have some dalliance with fascism every few decades, our brain interfaces will literally make thought crime impossible, and the total control and total exploitation of the human person is not only possible, but inevitable. Which sounds bad. But if this technology already existed, I wouldn't have spent an hour this morning trying to figure out who was it and what was the name of the song that has that cool part that goes do-do-do-do-do, whoa. All right, another professor poem. This one's called Emily. Lou Welsh once called her the heartwood of the tree that is American poetry, which is legit. But have you ever taught wild nights, said to a room full of students who only think poetry is about distant, quaint niceties, hey, that poem's about what you think it's about? And then look around the room as the invisible light bulbs above their heads illuminate and explode. It's been great being here, but man, I miss my dogs. This is called The Dogs. Descended from wolves, domesticated out of the shelter, don't like to piss out in the rain. The sound of city buses, sleeping on the floor, going to the vet, going to the groomers, would rather destroy the couch, stomp on the bed, slobber on a car window, dig a claw into my back while I'm sleeping. Can't help but bark at the doorbell, delivery drivers, other dogs, other humans, rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, children going to school, children coming home from school, horses on TV, dogs on TV, bears on TV. Want the potato on my fork, the fast food french fry under my driver's seat, the stuffing inside their toys, the pea that rolled under the refrigerator, got addicted to cheese and dentabones, to aggressively sniffing my head, my shoes, my crotch, would steal my dirty underwear out of the hamper if they could, herd sheep if they could, hunt small game if they could, keep me from ever leaving the house ever again without them if they could, run away forever into the woods and never be seen again if they could. These are all, well, except for one of these, they're all true stories, and you'll maybe figure out the one that is not true yet. But this one is a true story. It's called The Silence. I slept through the whole thing, the racing engine, the dull thud of metal contracting, the screams of agony after the jealous boyfriend seeing the neighbor's daughter talking to someone else by a parked car, performed a double leg amputation with the chrome bumper of a Chevy Nova. My parents were at the party. My baby sister babysitting me before standing on the front porch, watching the ambulance, the jaws of life. I wasn't allowed to look out the front window until it rained 3 days later. Mom stopped being social after that. And though this incident in front of our house made the New York Times, I came down to a bowl of dry Cheerios and a silence that lasted the rest of my parents' lives. This is called What She Daydreams in Church. Late June and dusk was the end of the decade. Summer after graduation, college and the army await them on the other side of August. But this was not the sort of day to see how they were at the end of something. Next door, her best friend's pool, her best friend's brother, captain of the football team, Jody home from Penn State, Terry, Lisa, and Tammy, chaise longues, poolside, paper Dixie cups, peach schnapps. Dad could never hide the key to the liquor cabinet very well. It was only a matter of time before Levi's withered onto grass like rain. No one had to will it into being. Tan lines, pale skin under moonlight, Marco Polo, cannonballs breaking out all over. Sunday morning, she's lapsing through time, Bruce's dimples, the curvature of his spine, the secrets of his manhood, the waterline rising over her nipples, caressing the nape of her neck, the sounds of a mountain town at night, punctuated by giggles. Never did anything like it before, never since. This one's not true yet. It's called an apt ending. Of course the aliens are going to come for us. They're massive harvest ships, just as soon as they realize human gallbladders are the perfect material for whatever the alien equivalent is to Snuggies or Chia Pets. We will all die on those harvest ships, blinded by floodlights on a conveyor belt, mechanically stripped and washed before razor-sharp tentacles rip open our bellies, before they drop us bleeding and screaming into massive dumpsters that get emptied twice a day. Shakespeare and calculus, the Bible and the U.S. Constitution really ain't going to matter much at that point. But I guess you can say we've made a valiant effort this whole time. Sure, there was talk of letting us live. They know we can survive without gallbladders, but that kind of precision costs money. Was also talk about grinding the waste into a kind of slurry to feed livestock or fertilize the home planet, but it just wasn't profitable. Best to just open the airlock and watch the red goo float. Thank you so much. Attention. I'm psyched about hearing many of you, mostly everybody who signed up to the open mic. I don't know if this is the greatest hits poem. I guess it's mine. This is called Denial of Death, number 99. Know that once in the spring of 1998, when I lived in an old house in the country, spent a rainy day listening with all the windows open to classical music records bought at an estate sale, the smell of rain and damp grass mixed with the moonlight sonata. It was the first time I thought I understood eternity. There were other moments in solitude, in intimacy, in crowds, pleasures of discovery, of aesthetics and deadly sins, times when my ribs tingled when I thought about love. Sometime after we were born, we become convinced that something's supposed to happen to us. Spent our whole lives looking for a train that never arrives, or realize decades later, a glimpse is all we are afforded. Thank you so much. I got books for sale, but sweaty hugs and awkward conversations are always free.
Yeah, I know they're not dogs, but I think tomorrow when we go to St. Louis, I'm going to take you back to, we'll go to St. Louis, I'll take you to the Wild Wolf Preserve.
Okay.
They aren't dogs exactly, but you know, might be able to get a t-shirt with some wild wolves on it.
Ooh.
So great. Thank you.
All right, yeah, and speaking of that, these guys will be performing tomorrow in St. Louis at the Lady Lair. I don't even know where to tell you exactly where that is. You'd have to Google it, because the Lady Lair is a strange kind of occult bookshop that is located like in a suburban neighborhood, but these guys will be there, and so I look forward to hearing them again.
Completely different set tomorrow night.
You better. You better.
Same.
You better. So, all right. We have a few more people than we generally do on the open mic, but I actually am just going to push through it, and we're going to do that, and then you can talk to these guys after we're done. Where are you going, Jason Reberg?
Probably needed another beer.
Probably needs
All right, go. All right, and since I'm not doing this in any particular order, which is my way, I am going to call up a gentleman I've never heard before, who we were recommended to him by Agnes. And so I'd like to bring up Matthew Martinson.
Thank you for having me. It's very nice meeting everyone here. I'm very thankful to you guys for making this possible, you know, drawing a crowd and keeping poetry alive. I moved here from Maryland for work, and I have been out of the poetry game for some time. So thank you for the opportunity to read.
Welcome back.
Yeah. So I wanted to show kind of a disparity in the synchronicity. I'm going to read the first poem I wrote when I was 20, and I'm going to read the last poem that I wrote. The first one is called Oak Invoked. From foundational life-giving soil that will never toil, to bright illumination abundant in its radiant sensation, an oak tree sprung forth. Stout and robust, from a seed he sprouted, into life he thrust. His limbs above and below steadily grew. The strength of his branches are quite a view, as their numbers do accrue, as gusts shape the songs he sings. With stoic knotted bark he does embark. On a steadfast journey bound to last, beyond abiding as a malleable sapling, exposed to the forest's sway. He is now prominently on display, too many decades in the flesh. Surrounded by many more, roots entangled amidst staunch residents, standing upright with hardened persistence, lifting against the situation's gravity to quench his thirst. Competing with eminently well-versed sentinels for light and water, he is always ready for torrential cloudburst. Unscrupulous foliage turned to the heavens upon human foreshadowing. Steadily bracing for another weathered storm, he is ready to endure nature's many forms. Prepared to consume as fast as the rain descends, prepared to sacrifice his weakest limbs, prepared to stand tall as the ponderous ice coerces him to fall. He is ready to unfetter his frangible and delicate proportions upon gale forces unrelenting, steadily embracing each season as they roll by with escalating pacing. No doubt that this bout to survive, strive, and thrive began long before his seed first sprout. He was never first, and he'll surely never be last, no matter how long his oaken heart can hold fast. His fate is sealed on the chopping block, such resilience mocked, deserving reverence transformed into parchment he is malformed, written word upon his corpse. This phase too will run its course, inevitably to ashes on the forest floor. This next one is Ash Invoked. The meadow down by the ash tree. The wind over forgiving, yet shivering blades of grass. Cradled in shifting, cold, imposing stone, laden with layers of frostbitten smitten. Barefoot and treading in freezing rain. A sweet reprieve in fresh sinew of pain. A pause of pleasant breeze in the eye of her storm, gazing upon the strength of her branches. They sway and respond to each binding of her bondage, to her myriad of clauses, years of gnarled braces, her diminished causes, posterity always in her clutches, soil fed with a selection of corpses, the whisper on each wind of defenses, her sweet scent in trances, each inner ring lined with etched passages, each branch heavy with her creeping choices, foliage breathing the saccharine breeze of voices. Her bark a scarred surface to which she progresses, still weeping sap of innocence and youth, a cloudy elixir of trickery and reflexes. To drink is to learn and aspire. To drink is to demand this meadow to transpire. To drink is to entwine yourself with her isolation. Her roots sow below, as above, thirsting and yearning as this rich meadow, however wind-beaten, leaves her alone and desiccated, a shadow and priestess, inversions of contortion, long-suffering and distortion. Two men, too familiar, rested and tested, one of elemental fire, one of compressed oceanic depth. He drank of her sap. He drank her pain and her loss. He drank of her loneliness. He watered and rested with her roots. He was showered with her leaves, always adrift away from the harsh surroundings. He built fires with her branches through each cold, ruthless night. Shivering, he tasted of her bone-chilling winds. Drenched, he tried not to mix the rain with tears. Injured, he endured. He marveled at her stabilizing storms, their fury and persistence. One night, his attempt at warming himself after cruel winds caught a flexing branch, caught. The blaze was furious, the accusation spurious and fractious. Her mind's eye shifted, the fury of her winds combined. He was resigned and confined. They were scorched and defined. Those close to him maligned, those loving aligned. The sap in his core combined. Through molten means of pressure, he purged it as it burnt his throat. Cooling each wretch with his tears, he found remnant, an obsidian shard yet to take a shape. As his embers cooled, he chipped away, being showered with ashen. Clutching the knife, he slashed his hands. He treaded lightly and bided his time. He carries jade and bears it all. Through ashen obsidian, he awaits his next trial. May he hold fast his surviving vial of the enchanting sap that was never only a trap. The man who walked out of the fire and wind with the obsidian blade in his hand will continue to carve. May we pray he does not starve. Thank you all for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. And I can tell they keep coming back for you even if they get sick.
I don't know about all that. I was telling some folks before you got here that the reading I used to host for about 3 years, we did it once a week.
Yeah.
And once a week is a grueling thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Now, are you in Rolla? Is that where you're at now?
I live in Bourbon.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, and please come back
Yeah.
again,
I
please.
would love to. I'm working up the courage. I'm trying to piece it all together and publish eventually.
Yeah.
But
If that's what you want to do, then you will do it.
yeah.
You're on the right road.
I'm gonna say, if you ask me, you just like stay up there and you can read mine too. Can we get this guy in a Lord of the Rings movie or something?
I was thinking of Viking-themed death metal band. I mean,
Hey,
when he's not writing poetry.
Ian can win the handsome long-haired man contest.
That's only because Colin's got his hair.
That's right.
Scott, unfortunately, he got the haircut, so he's out. But, all right.
I'm not beating the wood elf allegations.
We're gonna get going again. Let's see here. I am going to bring up. I'm gonna bring up Rob.
Okay, John, this isn't a gift. I'm gonna give it to you right now before I forget.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can sign it for you.
Oh, well, it's good to see everyone. Some of you for the first time and some a few times. And I'm very grateful to be here. And thank you, Mr. John Clayton, for opening New York. Okay, I'm very green at this. I've not done this a lot, but long story short, I'm just going to start reading, and that will be where I go. This one is titled Baby JJ, Innocent. 26 days taken away. 26 days, precious smile. Eyes closed, angels above, smiling. 26 days. Addicts, needles, lies, high, still free. Baby, 26 days. This is in loving memory of my grandson, baby JJ. And I won't tell you how many hustlers I had that night. Yeah, okay. This goes with it. It. Blind. Destructive. Mind. It. Free. Con. Yes, it. Evil. Yes, it. Selfish. Yes, it. User. Yes, it. Lie. It. Stand tall. Stand firm. Stand your ground. Always. It's gone.
Robin, you're doing just fine.
Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna have to step out for just a second.
When I started,
Hit home more.
yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see here.
John Dorsey, you can also add me to the list.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
won't share Shakespeare, but I will share Celine Dion.
Well, that's where I draw the line.
Your heart will not go.
If it was some Yanni or like some you're talking about men with flowing hair, like that's this theme for. All right. Let's see. Speaking of men that do not have flowing hair, we're going to welcome up Mr. Jason Reaper.
Follically challenged.
You should get a check. It really is a disability.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Maryland.
Why are you in Hollywood, man? There's like unions of guys that look like you. They just we need a guy down the set in like 30 minutes to hold an axe. And I'm sorry.
I'm signing myself up for corporate hell instead.
Okay. Well, if that doesn't work out,
I mean, there may be an
probably a lot of work for you. And tell me.
Your new manager, Jason Reaper.
Yes, and I will manage. I'm gonna start
You
with a
can
poem.
hell and audiobooks though, I'm just saying.
Any audiobook would be fine.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Campbell McGrath. He's a phenomenal poet. This is called Because This Is Florida. Because this is Florida, we can be what we choose to be. Say, Dixie fried Cubano rednecks. It's that kind of place. When the heavy metal bands play Rocky Top, Tennessee, they all stomp and sing along. I should say, we sing along at the annual state fair, a very weird place, because this is Florida. I feel like an anomaly, but the truth of it is I'm them and they're me. And now we're stamping and hooting all over the place while the Texas Swing Band plays Rocky Top, Tennessee, and Haitian kids dip kettle candy beneath a live oak tree in historic cracker country, apt and ironic misnomer for the place because this is Florida after all, not Texas or Tennessee, Florida. Florida, at times I can't believe what I see and don't know how to feel about living in a place where a bluegrass fiddler plays Rocky Top, Tennessee, while Rome burns. Is it just me or an epidemic of mistaken identity? The state of confusion that plagues this sun-bedeviled place? Because this is Florida. I beg you to believe me. The steel drum band from Trinidad plays Rocky Top, Tennessee. This is called the 20. Jeez, man.
Are you fucking shit up, Rebirth?
Man, good lord.
I think I bought this thing.
Yeah. Bam!
This is why OAC can't have nice
I know.
I mean, you mean Jason Reaver?
This is seriously like.
I want to point out, this didn't happen for
You know what? Screw this fucking thing. Fuck you. This is called the 2020 post-election blues. It's a weirdly warm day here in central Kansas. Early November and windy as hell with countless concentric cyclones of dust and leaves out there slam dancing with and within each other in dervish-like synchronicity. And then at times breaking off from the herd in little groups to rub up against the house, causing all the loose planks and window panes to rattle and vibrate to the point where it seems that the whole place could just lift off or implode at any moment. But then, right before it does, the mob always seems to subside and recede like a tide, back to that place where it all regroups and regains its momentum, leaving us a strange and guttural sucking sound coming from the fireplace, as if to let us know that they'll be back and we'll all be sorry then. This is called All the Way Down. There's wind in the chimney and a sweat bee drowned in a glass of brandy. A man with a glass of brandy with a drowned sweat bee in it, smoking a cigarette and playing solitaire at an antique dining room table. A ghost trapped inside of an ancient grandfather clock behind him, its ectoplasmic breath steaming up the glass on certain moonlit nights. And a sad, sweet little tune playing on an old 78 record player. The kind of tune that, given the mood, makes you want to jump out of a window up a tall building, humming it all the way down. And there, in the corner of the room, an open door showing us a toilet from which a billy goat is currently drinking. Now, how'd that billy goat get in here? Called Hard Times, Soft Money. Ain't it funny how hard cash always goes soft in the face of hard times? So much so that you just can't seem to keep a firm hold on the stuff. And the clock just keeps on chopping away at you and all your best laid plans for the foreseeable future. And your whole life can pretty much be summed up, measured out, and quarterly projected upon a screen as an hourly wage. And none of your side gigs or supplemental income schemes ever seem to work out quite right. And living ain't getting any cheaper, and you're working for a man whose secretary don't even know your name. This is called Just Another Other. Our leaders say we should all try harder to be good little citizens and reach out and begin the healing process of our centuries-old but recently exacerbated cultural rift, and try to find some kind of alliance with the legendary white working class, which no one really seems to be able to clearly define. even though so much ink and airtime are devoted to it more and more every voting season, before it's forgotten again, and until they're needed next time to hose off and trot out and see once again which political party finally wins the multi-million-dollar media tug of war to sway this particular demographic via their needs, or if need be, their rather extreme prejudices, and hopefully bring them into the fold for good. But I really have to wonder about the notion of locating the elusive common ground with a group that seems to proudly, chest and Bible-thumpingly define themselves socially and politically by their very ignorance of politics, science, and history, let alone the larger world that exists outside their own and might as well be another planet, which is exactly what they've been led to believe for the last 50 years or so by the church and community leaders and elected local, state, and even national representatives and various alternative media figures with their 24-hour feeding tubes, all of whom will appear to be in the process of collectively and publicly shitting themselves and melting down Wicked Witch of the West style at the prospect that even out here, in the ultimate gated community of the Northwestern Hemisphere, they will soon be just another other in a nation of others.
You know, we had innumerable people up here, and nobody knocked this thing down. And then we get Jason Reberg up here.
What else can I break? Give me something.
I don't know, but whatever it is, you can break it.
I think bark had something to do with it.
All right, so I want you guys to repeat one thing after me, and we will direct it to Jason. Sounds like a Reberg poem. That's right. There you go. That's what you get. Because, like, Jason will give me his poems to read, but, like, after you've been a writer a long time, you write like you, so everything sort of sounds like you. And then he gets mad at me because my only response is, well, it sounds like a Reberg. So, you know, now you've all joined in,
Yes.
so I appreciate it.
Turn them all against me.
Robin, I was going to say before you went out of the Rivers thing, you sounded great. You sounded really good. When I started doing this, I was a shaky mess. And I was like Nicolas Cage when he goes to cash a check at the beginning of Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was just terrible.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was a mess is what got me my first girlfriend in Toledo because she was sympathetic. So it all works out. All right.
Thank you, John.
No, you did sound good. And if you didn't, I'd let you know. So you can take credit for it because I'm a known jerk. Oh, Jason. All right. So with that, we are going to bring up John Frieder. Any other men reading your poems. You have to do it.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like it's been a long enough time since I've seen you, Jason, that maybe this wouldn't, even though I read it every time you come around, you wouldn't maybe be tired of it. The first time I read with you was at the Dirty Castle.
Yep, 2019.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote this one for John Dorsey when he performed it on a set with you. And it'll always, forever, I've said this to you before, but it'll forever live in my head that afterward you read In the Belly of the Beast, and you were like, this one's for you, baby. And he's the only man who's ever called me baby. I don't know how I feel about this. This is for you and for John Dorsey. This one's called Flux. We are only strangers through the soot, kin of station and import, Eckstein taught us to be impossible men through bent antenna and beaten radio. He looks at me, machine bleeding on his hands, no chance of evaporation except for arid eyes drifting away and to the right. We could accept, if not acknowledge, even deep, undeniable Billy couldn't stop crying through the smoke. For a stoke, the cinders were homophonic. How can we not know each other so well? Progress is fewer needed to make more. Living inches from spinning steel and homeless heat gives you an idea how much oil is necessary to grease the reel. But now, there is no united, no of America, no softball, no teamwork, no picnics, no people. Just the pride of everything I have is yours. You're part of me. Everything I have is yours. My destiny. The steel mills itself, bending backs, praying to break, and no one gives a flux. Speaking of poems that sound like Jason Reberg.
Don't do it.
Ruin your whole life.
This one was the one I wrote in order to try to sound like Jason Reberg. It's called Blues Healer. Nihilism isn't just a river in Egypt. It is specks on glasses, obstacles that only exist while seeing. It is no accident that the opposite of Orient is Occident, or is it? Did you know that scars are constantly being rebuilt with collagen? Sailors with scurvy would watch their wounds open because their bodies couldn't keep up. Then there were the limeys. How many eyebrows had to perennially bloom before healthy bitterness stemmed bodily mutiny? What is a poem? Wry grin, side-eye, beginning 10 o'clock, coffee, marking, definition, shockingly not letter of the law. The real question is, what does it do? Does it have to tell the truth? Or is the story better than real? Now that the movie, music, lyric, stadium, stars killed the stars. And they blamed Courtney, Yoko, Mary-Kate, Asia, Jada, cocaine, whiskey, pride. I didn't know you were an academic. Like Midwest Paddington, he adjusted a purposely crooked brim, and his smile belies the swagger draw in a long time ago. Like low organ drone in the corner of bars. Memories of the dusty setting button depression, how it shut like grandma's old Wurlitzer, otherwise silent. Lids mostly closed, listening to red-eye spoken pictures. And I realize that you need lies to spell limes. Dirty hands tell the best stories, and mine can't help but thumb bleed so they can mend.
Sounds like a Reberg poem.
Sounds like a Reberg poem.
Every time I come here, and I haven't been here in a while, but every time I come here, I think of and feel being at Paget's place with you guys. And of course, I read at Paget's once when Damien was doing the bell ringer open mic.
Yeah, just, I realized, like, you usually only come if Jason Baldinger's here. So from now on, I'm going to call you every month. Yeah, he's on his way.
That means you have to come more often. He's strong-arming both of us.
It's far.
That's what I tried to tell him.
You don't get away with that.
This one's called Eidolon. I say, we are a family of the mind. He replies, life is a bad venereal disease. Dame's the same, sober or drunk. Only difference is whether he sits or wanders, bumping into flower tables, bumblebee and ashtray pollen, dropping knowledge on people petals ungently. You only live by telling comfort to go suck your dick. Sleep, work, and fuck is not what you want to build your idol on. Nothing is an ungent, like a 5-hour car ride. Meant to take two, this crazy bitch had shroom clouds, had to ask who blew America up, then refused to apologize for the truth. Baraka to the future issues a stern warning. You've got to grease the cops, then they shoot your career because they can eat fear. Fuck you and the pigs whose skin made the luxury seat you rode in idle on. Sometimes when we call a thing new, what we mean is no news are good. Like, who wants to live in old Jersey? I mean, who the fuck wants to live in new shirts and take your fucking shoes off? Home is where your feet freeze, where your lips crack, where your hands slip, where the monster chose me and I put dreams into a needle. She asked me again and again and why. I said, who am I to argue when it's right fucking there in the name? It's not a wanton. Who are my people? Stomach blows. It's not like I couldn't eat, but I'm too busy chasing the hallucinations that hunt me when I hide alone. I don't usually look back at poems, but I was going back through, and when Jason came to our last open mic, he left his cell phone. And the first thing, like, once I realized I had, the first thing I thought of was like, it's just one too many whiskeys. And that's what you said when I met you the other day for lunch. You realized one too many whiskeys.
He just wanted to have lunch with you, John. You could have just asked him.
So I had this one that I had like partially written. It was unfinished. And I was like, what if I tried to read it and just stop where it stopped? It's called Now. I read they removed HM's hippocampus to stop his seizures, and he woke up from surgery for the next 55 years. They found a hippopotamus in London, and what a time it was to be 5. It's a little chest joke. Technically, non-alcoholic beer is hypoallergenic. You transfused my ink and asked if I thought drunk me is closer to the real me. I told you about 3 whiskey me. 1 whiskey me is where I would stay if he could stop. 2 whiskey me wants to hold everyone and rub my face on corduroy. 3 whiskey me realizes my over many muchness and refills my empty half-glass jaw. But none of those are closer to me than velvet ridges, punk rock, Celtic knots, and
Jason, you get yourself a corduroy. What would you make with that? That's what you may have to do. John literally like nearly stumbled on it, and he's still been knocking down. Just you. All right, so I'm gonna bring up the next person here. I am going to welcome up Mark. Mark here. There you are. All right, there, Daddy.
Your blind side's the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you call me Daddy.
All right, Daddy. You do it.
I was honored to have the poem in the newest Trailer Park Quarterly. We've never met, so I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark.
This is closed.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, hi Mark. I'm not exactly the highlight, but yeah. All right, closed. Stuckey Service Station and Restaurant in Little Sioux no longer serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours a day. The doors are locked, the shades are pulled, and the weeds grow around from the cracks around the gas pumps. The tourists headed north for vacation, and the truckers carrying America's daily bread no longer mingle in the gift shop while waiting for a table or booth to open up. The aged, life-worn waitresses no longer feign interest in the stories carried from the corners of this land. Instead, the neon remains dark and dust covers the counter, serving only memories. Because I waited 45 years to publish my first book, thank you, Jason, I try to do one every time I'm here. So this is from my first book, Around that Old Table. This is entitled Mom. And kind of like my poems Patty, I have several titled Mom. I stood in the darkness tonight listening to the tree frogs, and it took me back to those days so long ago. To days when you were there, calling me back to the pastures, telling me to play one more game, urging me to let the dogs alone. I recall the honks from the horn, 3 long, 2 short, and then home we came. I recall you and Dee telling us to be careful, and then hoping we would come back in one piece. You recognized our youth, but hoped we had the sense to live through it and learn from it. Those frogs took me back and made me remember thinking of my time with you and all those who made me who I am. And then I smiled. As long as I'm plugging books, our Just City group has our second anthology out, so I will read one from that. I try to do that about every time. This is entitled Our 10 Acres. I come back to these 10 acres not as often as I would like, to reconnect with my heritage, the place where I called home, the land that made me who I am. I always leave them refreshed, but also keenly aware that while they are important to me, they were only a part of what made me who I am. Over the years, I have lived in and been part of many places, and they have all shaped me in different ways and have become part of who I am. What I learned years ago is that home is not just a piece of land or a house. Home is those I choose to love because of blood or choice, and they are also part of what made me who I am. The best friend growing up and his entire family, the friend who knows me better than most, the woman who took me as her own, the 2 children she gave me, and the kindred spirits who share their words and their souls each time we meet. They all have made me who I am. They are home.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Okay. Philip, would you like to come up and do it?
Sure.
All right. That's right. Did you get that from the Bell Library?
It's from the Passaic Library.
Oh, Okay. I would, I would be amazed if that was at the Bell Library.
I wasn't kidding.
I may have been the only one who took you completely seriously. I knew.
For about 10 years, I put together shows where we would read from books that celebrities had written. And sometimes celebrities. This being one of my favorites because I consider this to be a public service. I will read these books so that you don't have to. The problem being, a lot of people thought that we would make up funny stuff and then just say that it was written by a celebrity. This is the crap they will actually write. And to emphasize that we would read these word for word, I will not only read this word for word, but include the punctuation. As one learns early on in reading this book, more than Celine Dion's heart will go on and on. So I present to you my story, comma, my dream, by Celine Dion. Everybody in my family had been suspecting for a long time that I was in love with Renee, period. Unconsciously, comma, I'd done everything to give it away, period. Even before I realized I was in love, comma, a lot of people, comma, in the recording studios, comma, on television sets, comma, or in the auditoriums where I performed, comma, understood that something was happening between Renee and me, period. I had eyes, comma, ears, comma, smiles, comma, thoughts only for him, period. Whatever he said, I took as gospel, period. I couldn't spend a quarter of an hour without mentioning his name, period. If he wasn't around, comma, I looked for him everywhere, I waited for him, period. At the beginning, comma, my mother wasn't overly worried, period. She figured that I was bound to get over it, comma, but sooner or later, I'd be a boy of my own age, comma, fall in love, comma, and get married, period. We never spoke openly about it. Comma? But I could sense my mother watching like a hawk, comma, ready to protect me against what she could only see as an unrealistic kind of love, period. Meanwhile, I continued to go to sleep with Renee's photo pressed to my cheek, comma, around my neck, period. I wore out several of them, period. Some days I felt horribly alone, period. I was locked up all by myself in this love about which I couldn't speak to anyone, period. And I knew very well that I wouldn't get over it. I was a real woman. Had become a woman, comma. I'd be 18 soon, comma. And I wanted Renee to take me in his arms, comma, to kiss me, comma, to make love to me, period, for real, period. Open quotation marks. But maybe he isn't aware of it at all, comma, close quotation marks, I told myself, period, open quotation marks, maybe he simply isn't interested in me, period, close quotation marks. I tried to understand why I loved him so, period. I thought he was handsome, period. I loved his soft eyes. His gestures, his voice, the color of his skin, his hands, his cologne, the quiet strength that he exuded, his calmness, the authority that he exercised over everyone, even over my parents, even over the executives of the record companies, period. I loved his passion for gambling and his laugh and his ways of analyzing situations, of making and putting into practice decisions, dash. Above all, of course, comma, I love the way he looked at me, comma, the confidence he gave me, comma, and his hopes for my future, period. Ladies and gentlemen, Celine Dion.
Philip, I wish that Celine Dion's heart would not go on, but I'm glad that yours does. Telling you, next time yawning, man.
What he's trying to say is because you're here, there's nothing he fears.
I have owned his book. It's not very interesting. It's just not interesting.
I mean, Fabio's got to have a biography somewhere as well.
And his novels. The novels of Pamela Anderson,
Okay,
primo material.
I will be checking those out.
Didn't you do Dueling Tom Lee and Van Anderson?
Oh yeah.
I thought so.
Is it that kind
All
of
right.
primo material or is it primo material?
Oh, it is. There's a sex scene that invokes Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Oh my.
A little outside.
That's all we need to know. It's better if there's an air of mystery. So, so with that, I would like to bring up next Victor.
Exclamation point!
Much like John Freeman, Victor only comes when Jason Baldinger is here. So you're both getting phone calls every month.
Do it, period. Into it, definitely.
Yes.
So it's great to be back down here at Belle. It's been like, what, last September?
Last
prior to
September
that.
was the last time I was here.
So it's been probably a year better since I've read in front of anyone. So what I've got is all new stuff. So we'll see. I know with Bart will be okay. So I'm just gonna read a couple of these short poems to start with from this collection that was published in February. They're just short pieces, 4 or 5 lines at that, and it's all conversational. It was published with the Toledo poet Adrian Lyme. I don't know if you know Adrian. He's been down here. Great guy. So
I can't remember the last time Adrian was here though.
2021.
21.
Yeah, a lot of these folks have never met him. And before you start, I'll just say that Adrian is someone you should check out. He's a very modest human being and very quiet. So he's not going to post anything but you should look for it.
Yes. So Adrian and I started this in probably 21 or 22, and it just got published. So it was a slow process, and it was literally both of our work lives were crazy. So we just shoot an email back and forth of these. So I'm just going to read a few of mine. What must seem like a mountain for a mite to climb the bulging breast of a buzzard? On trellis for the last half hour, a mantis sitting motionless in prayer, but who is listening? Harvesting tonight underneath the strawberry moon, we pick all our words wisely. At least 15 clocks in this house and 5 children. You learn which ones you can depend on. Cherries from a pail. Just all small little cherries. The others I got are High Bun. And I do not have a copy. Do you have a copy of the new Missouri Poets Anthology?
No, I don't.
I don't either. So these are in there. And the first one combines, when I wrote this, it combines a couple things that I love, which is Frank Stanford and hummingbirds. So this is September 23rd, 2025. Tiptoeing somewhere around a battlefield. I've never fully known if the moon and I have ever progressed to the point of loving each other. Hanging out there in the distance is a knife, singing. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of hot water, combine, mix and stir. 3 cups of cool water, combine, mix and stir, mix and stir. It's not much of a song, but it's sweet. Yesterday in the front yard, we filled the feeders for the final time this year. Sadly, again, all of the hummingbirds will leave soon without me. 7 months without small pieces of happiness, the state of affairs. Which leads into the next poem, the state of affairs. In this small Carroll town, on an up-down crouched street, in a wood box backyard, you'll find 4 pumpkins my children spent hours stabbing and styling up for fun. They once sat side by side on a front porch for weeks with a burning feeling inside of them. But now that the ghosts have been traded for the gobbles, the welcoming crew have been cast into a pile of warm compost. They are all slowly becoming disgusting. Their slanted eyes eroding, their demon brows browning, their frightful mouths mushing. Love left long ago, and that rise and fall fluttering feeling is just the pitchfork turning the pile. Soon the hackberry leaves will fall and cover it all. Long life, desires, breaking down reality. We are all just pumpkins. And then the last one's new, ish, whatever. It's called Backyard Brawling. Careless assholes. This world could use a few less painful moments. The story of the angry bees beneath the bare bones of a rose bush and the man who fucked around and found out isn't all that entertaining. That's just my opinion, though. You may find high knees hopping up a hill hilarious. A man moving forward, looking backward, shouting some colorful combinations of 4-letter, 7-letter, 12-letter words that would have gotten anyone's lips split with the knuckle side of a grown-up, swung, swift hand when they were young. Does it sound like a wholesome time to me? Don't smile. The bees packed a punch and their lunch, prepared for a long day of battle, but they got the upper hand pretty quick. Direct hits. Got the elbow high on the inner thigh. Oh my, there's more than the eye could count. But I tried just so I'd have a number for when I told you this story. Does 200 sound believable?
Thank you, Victor. And as Jason confirmed, the last time you were here was when Jason was here.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to have to call you every month and be like, yeah, he's back.
You have to build a name. Sorry.
next person I'm gonna call up is one of my favorite people on the planet, and it's a short list. TK. What's going on?
Can't be on camera because it work.
Oh, wait, I could turn the camera off.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Cut, edit.
Well, you want to just
Or you
stand
can
over
just
there and
stand-
read it?
I can just lean over here, everybody's.
Yeah, if that's easier for you, we'll still record the audio.
City Council, welcome up Steve, who is at work right now.
Yeah, for all kinds of she's at work.
I didn't know he was signing me up, so I didn't do anything else to like 30 seconds.
I didn't sign him up, so he
I assumed John did.
Yeah, John must have.
I knew you wouldn't.
I
I was like, he would have told me before he did. So
I
was
didn't
like,
do it. Someone did it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't me.
Bart.
Does Bart.
No, John.
When in doubt, just I'm gonna say Jason did it.
It's an old one.
Okay. Well, there are some people in here that are going to hear some things they've heard before, but that's okay. We're going to do a little bit of rage and then I'll find a happy one. You voted against women's rights for eggs that never went lower, for gas that is as high as I've ever seen it, to prevent wars that have started. Are we great yet? And then, you know what? I haven't done my singular nature poem in a really long time, so I'm going to do that. There's something very American Gothic about listening to the cicadas scream as the day draws down dark. About the moments before a big storm, where the damp heat is curling in your head like a fist and the cicadas are screaming. There's thunder in the distance and they shriek defiance of their lives. For days after 17 years of waiting, the cicadas scream. We are here. We are alive. The storm cannot stop us.
So we've currently got 2 more people on this list, and I mention that to ask you right now, does anyone in this room who has listened to this, that they want to be on this list? Because if you do, tell me now. All right. We'll do that at the end. But, all right. So, with that, I am going to welcome up Ken.
This place is alive tonight, some great poetry. And I'm glad I didn't follow Selena.
Yeah, like, who would have wanted to do that?
All right, I'll start by reading another poet. This is from Chris Dean. Her book is Tales from a Broken Girl. Scene of the crime. Intensely personal. Intense words. Intense me. Lines drop like blood splatter from my mouth. Caught in the carnage, rubbernecking the scene of the crime. You wait, watch, listen, and judge what you fear to be. So, Christy. Thank you for Chris. Matthew, you're right about the aliens, so, which is the reason I had my gallbladder taken out last year.
Yeah, they won't be able to track you anymore, Ken.
No, they won't. So I'm going to read a poem from The Long Haul from when I was in the hospital for 3 weeks in regards to that. Beyond the pain, P-A-N-E, beyond the pain, a bird on the ledge, tapping on the glass. Not a glass of iced tea, the glass of a window, looking in on me. 9 stories up, as I sip iced tea, and think about a bird that's not there, but thinks I must have better things to do little knowing painkillers will take the mind places far beyond the imagination of a bird that's not there. And I'm better. All right, I'm sorry, but this is the world we live in. GTFO. My family's birthright is not your birthright. Yes, the mother of my children was an immigrant, and the mother of my youngest child is an immigrant. So what if my father was a child of an immigrant? America is the land of opportunity. Look at me. My power trumps your right. If you want change, you won't get there by being reasonable. Fraud gets you places. Lies become the norm. You'll never get anywhere until you've been in my shoes. And I'll make sure that never happens. So don't look at me. Get the fuck out. Sorry. Thank you. And as long as we're on the top of that great man, trumped up charges. Nothing satisfies. Nothing satisfies. Not taste, no matter how exquisite. He may slather over a cheeseburger, but one is never enough. Not sight, no matter how exquisite. He may glow brighter than any orange at the thought of gilding all that he touches. But there's always another plastic trinket in need of a faux golden shine. Not even accolades. No matter how many, there can never be enough sycophants to bring him true pleasure. And there's always the next airport pancake house waiting to be graced with his name. All that matters is profit, and that never satisfies because there's never enough. There's always one more dumb schmuck to lie to and swindle. Always another dollar to rob from the people who made him their president. Although it is nice to have an open tab. And a poem that's a little bit of a downer. It's the way it is in some parts of the world. Down dirt roads. Country roads feel like home. A nod and a hand raised from the steering wheel to acknowledge a neighbor passing from the opposite direction. Even if once a week, or you're not sure how far down the road they live. You know them from the coffee shop or the grocery store. Everyone pleasant. But then the pavement ends. You're driving down dirt roads that hold secrets that no one should know or even experience. And you wonder if your wave is seen as acceptance of behavior that warrants less of a nod and more of a cold stare that lets them know you know there's a price to pay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ken's read about many things, but one thing in particular, this reading has been fantastic. And I just want to encourage people to keep coming out, keep working on new things, regardless if you're working out or not. Because we need them. And did you have something to say? I thought you had your hand up. Oh, you were just trying to look seductive. Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah, I'm really so glad to have you guys here. And please, 2 weeks from now exactly, Scott Limdotti will be here. And I know that Ken and Bob cannot be here, but anyone who can, please consider coming out. 2 weeks from now, I'm going to go be out in the eastern part of the country for a little while, but then I'm coming back with those gentlemen, so I'll be bringing Scott back here myself.
Thank you.
And so that'll be super good. So I just we've got one more reader on this list, unless I've forgotten someone, and let's make sure that I haven't. And that is John Clayton. Yeah, that's fine.
This piece is by a guy named Norbert Lichtenfeld, who's from Vienna, who died probably in '87.
Okay.
He was blind, and I found this poem from his wife, who's 87 years old. He wrote it for her mother. So everybody's dead in this poem except his wife. It's called Grandma. She's the sweetest lady you ever saw. She's the little gal the kids call Grandma. Your heart she'll win with a cherry grin, no matter what desperate mood you're in. Ready to help with any task. There's no need to even ask. That's my children's real grandma. I'm proud of you, mother-in-law. Grandma, I'll forget you not, because to me you mean a lot. You see, you gave me the pride of my life. Without you, I wouldn't have my wife. This is probably the first time this poem's ever been read in public.
Really,
Well,
that's
that's-
awesome.
Well, that makes it even more fantastic. Gives it a new life.
You all of you know Julianne King, right?
Yeah.
Julianne's back, but I don't think she knows what she's going to do. Flying back and forth to Mexico just doesn't look to me like a real option, but I guess she'll figure it out. This piece I wrote for Julianne before she went to Mexico this last time. It's called Willie and the Kid. Willie is Julianne's uncle, maternal uncle. I know many will say I'm a bit presumptuous writing about someone I've never met. I suppose there's some truth to that. However, in my defense, I have listened to the kid talk incessantly about Uncle Willie. Talk with admiration, awe, affection, and love. They met when the kid was 15. She was just dropped off at his house where he was licking his wounds caused by his own problems. She claims his first words to her were, "You hungry?" That's a typical vet reaction, triage. Take care of the most immediate problem and then move on to other things. Willie has been the kid's wingman for over half of her life. He's always been there, watching, listening, watching out for the kid. He hasn't always agreed, but he's always been there. They've developed understandings that are important to them. For example, truck rules. What the hell do you suppose that means? Well, I'm sure they know what it means. I know the kid loves Uncle Willie. She's never said the word love to me in talking about Willie. I don't know if she's ever told him she loves him. I know she does. When she talks about him, I see it in her eyes, and I hear it in her voice. I don't know if Willie has ever told the kid that he loves her, but I would bet my life that he does. I don't know her, but I know old vets, and old vets would not spend 20 years tending a relationship with another human being without loving them. Old vets don't often express their feelings out loud, but that doesn't mean they don't have those feelings. Old vets get their feelings hurt and their hearts broken, just like everyone else. They just don't talk about it and are better at hiding it than others. The kid says she and Willie had a fight and he's done with me. I don't know about a fight. I don't know what it was about or what was said. I do know old vets. An old vet might pull back, might be mad at her, might avoid her, might not talk to her for a while, but he will never stop loving her. Don't ever make a mistake of harming her because you think he doesn't care. That mistake could leave you with a smiley face under your chin.
piece I'm reading tonight from Mark Potter. My late wife died 5 years ago, and she had a bucket list of places that she wanted her ashes spread in, and I spent a couple of years finding those places. And this is the next and the last place I went. It's called Sherman Township Cemetery. I know you lived in Virginia for a while when you were a kid, but your memories of that time are a bit sketchy. You actually grew up in Newaygo County, Michigan. You spent most of your developing years on or near a pile of sand locals called Starvation Hill. Your mother tried to teach, by example, how to be subservient to a man. That worked for a while, but for some reason you grew a mind of your own. Education tends to cause problems. Some men don't like that, but the world is better for it. Your mom thought you eating food she had never tried was the reason you were sick so much. She never considered that the homemade bread she made every week was killing you. I know you loved your mom. You made sure we went to Starvation Hill at least once a year, no matter what. No times were too lean for that. By all means, don't piss off your father too much, or he might cut you off from your mom. She confided in you about money problems in the later years, and you made sure she got money to fix the well, pay the deductible on the hospital stay for your father, and so on and so on. Money each month in the later years to make up for the loss of Social Security when her father died. On July 9, 2023, I spread some of your stardust on your mom's grave in Sherman Township Cemetery in Newaygo County, Michigan. The journey is nearing the end. This is bittersweet for me. Thank you.
I wanted to ask everybody who's here, do you know about upcoming events that are coming up? You have dates on them. If you do, if you want to mention them, feel free, and I will try to get as many people there as I can. Also, go ahead, Ken.
Mark will be reading in August in Raleigh, but I'm not sure of the date.
August 20th, I'll be reading at Poetry at the Club in Raleigh.
I actually was just there today. So.
And then August 3rd is our Gumbo Bottoms monthly poetry reading.
Well, I think Scott should still be here then. Maybe we'll come out for that.
Because I won't be able to be here the first time.
Oh, sure, we'll do it every time.
Somebody left their poem up here, and I'm just gonna leave it up here.
Same person who signed up TK?
What's that?
Same person who signed up TK?
And quite
I'm telling you,
possibly.
it's
Bart is just like playing scripts.
All leftover poems that get left behind and all loose change become my property. You have until I leave to claim this. So, all right. So I'd like to thank all of you guys again for being here. This was awesome. You made me smile. That's hard to do. Jason Reber's been trying for 18 years. He can't manage it. All right. So I will let you guys go. Talk to these two gentlemen here. They have books on them. I think there are other books in the room too that people have. Yes, I'm aware. I don't need you pointing at me.
Him. He's pointing at Mark.
Like I know the scheduling things. Don't you do it. Don't you just go pick a better hat to wear, and I'll take care of this.
Love this hat.
You stay in your lane.
You covet my hat.
Stay in your lane. And covet what we know.
Thank you, Hannibal Lecter.
That's right. All right. So I am just gonna. You were done with me for this evening, which is probably like a sigh of relief. But August 1st, please come back if you can. 6 o'clock. This year it's always 6 o'clock because I didn't go crazy and schedule an event with 20 readers on it. Not yet, anyway. And I might yet have to do it. And I more or less have the schedule for the rest of the year all laid out. So, thank you again for being here, and I'm just gonna welcome Mark up to talk to you for a moment. And then when Mark is done talking, just go talk to these guys, and awesome. You guys have a good rest of your Saturday. I'm gonna be eating Mexican food down the street with a few of these gentlemen. You're welcome to come, because I need someone to sit next to Jason Reber.
But just to echo what John has already said many times tonight, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here in the audience, but also sharing your craft with us. Thank you for driving very, very far.
Very far.
You're welcome.
Or around.
You stop it. You stop it.
Come.
Apostrophe.
Thank you. And again, well, not again, but John, thank you for 5 years of doing this. And that's only been part of the 10 plus years that you've been here. And formally, 5 years in front of this mic, but you have been orchestrating many things in the same capacity. So we thank you for that. And most of us, I think we would all agree, this gentleman has touched all of us, and this is also why you feel what you do in this room right now, because of you. So thank you.
Well, there's a good feeling in this room.
And to that point, yes, to that point, I always describe myself as I represent the audience. I am, for those of you that don't know me, I'm the executive director for the Osage Arts community. So that means I'm the boss of this place. But usually that's not so important. But as the audience member, as representing the audience, I attend these events all over the state and farther. So I am an authority on what I'm about to say in the context of what we're feeling right now. In the last 2 years, there was a lot of darkness. And some of that was echoed in some of the work tonight. But I really want us to feel there's so much hope in every single piece that you all had tonight. Because the darkness was just a reflection. And then to go even farther, a little bit farther than when John was standing here, and that was COVID. And remember how dark that was. And when you were all standing here, that was appropriately brought to the audience's attention. How dark that was as well. But then we're here today. And we've been in this moment of that entire arc of all that. I just want you to know how important that is for the audience, for the non-creatives. Because you've all heard me say, your job as a creative is to interpret this complexity of human experience into a phrase, an act, some sound, so many things that you share. And today, I got to witness hope again, and I've been hearing hope in my travels in this last year. It's a slow momentum, and it is visible now. So I just want all of you, please embrace that, because it's not an isolated event. It's all of us. That is important, because the world hasn't changed, really. Some would argue that it does, but it really doesn't change. We have the resonance of what we do and who we are. And if we have craft, we share that. And please continue to do that. please continue to share. But my job is, as the audience, is to say, you are successful. You are doing it. We feel it. We hear it. We need it. We need it. Please continue to do that. But own this resonance that you felt tonight, the hope. Please own that. And when you leave here, have it continue to resonate in your creative process and in your human. Please do that. Because it's not as hopeless as it always feels. It's not hopeless. We just experienced it tonight collectively. There is hope here. So, thank you for that moment. It's my responsibility to do that, just to share that love and to have you take that away too in the celebration of what you shared tonight. So thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you, John. Thank you guys for coming from great distances. We appreciate you. Thank you all.
But I will say, you guys limit that hope to 3 poems because I will give you the hook.
On that note,
Not too much hope.
on that note, I would actually like to read more.
What's that?
I would actually like